Hi Drew, can you hear me okay? Does that hey mean you can hear me okay? Um, Seems I might be muted. Ah, Drew, can you hear me okay? Drew, can you hear me? And who is Naksatra? All right. Let me first check in for any questions before we're getting started. I'm gonna dive back in to kind of see where we are in the state of things of getting improvements on um, uh, the building of Zephyr on target specifically. You can only hear me on YouTube. That's strange. Well, it seems like Discord can hear me because it's making my face light up in the icon. So I can try to restart Discord. It's my favorite tool. Big blue button is not moving forward quickly at all. ARM support is a challenge. That's probably the biggest. Overall, it's hard to work with, hard to get set up, even with the Docker setting. All right, let me try to restart Discord. Quit Discord. Meanwhile, I can go to beagle.local. You do not have permission to speak in this channel. What channel? Too many channels. Speak on stage. And bring the chat back. Yeah, Discord isn't friendly at all. Being closed source tool, it's just evil. But it's where we have almost 2,500 people now. So, oh no, 20, only close to 2,200 so far. But the rate has been growing at 2,500, I think, pretty quick. Oh, I guess I gotta pause. Can I pause microphone here? I don't know how to pause. Okay, I'm back. My apologies. All right. Let's get logged back into the board. 6.2, how about that? I know we need to improve this directory listing. I think might have been slightly customized, your Beagle, right? So I think I was teaching somebody how to do that customization, so it might be worthwhile to check in on that, see if anybody's starting to update the repo to have a more customized list. I know I was checking recently online for somebody who was asking about the video compression thing, so that's what's here in this log. The video accelerator should be supported by the kernel. It's a TI fork, right? That means it has the TI patches on it. That Robert supplied the TI patches to it, but I don't know if the 6.1 tree has all the necessary features there. We know we don't have the big one for folks is the remote proc. Once you start running something on the R5, it hangs, right? So, well, it doesn't hang, right? It just won't. You can't stop what's running on the R5. So it's expecting some sort of handshake with the firmware, and we just need it to stop, all right, a timeout or something. Continue talking about the west side. That makes a ton of sense. So you know what? I'm gonna give you this stage if you want to talk. So I definitely would like to get the West Flash stuff working.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So back from where we left off, I wanted to just continue. So, how about keeping the primary focus for native development and then extend it to remote development?
I think that's great, right? So when you're saying native development, you're talking about on Beagle development because that's my intention because that's a known working like it's a known environment, right? We produce the distro images that are run on the target. Potentially, we should be able to package all of the Zephyr SDK, everything on those images. So my intention is that you plug the SD card into the BeagleY-AI and you've got a Zephyr development environment for the R5s ready to go. And that something like building something like this MicroPython test, right? This should be pretty easy.
Yeah,
So that
I
is
think we'll just
exactly my desire, right? And then we can worry about the like working from a faster development machine or using there's some focus on using the CI, but I just want to make sure we use the CI to kind of get continuous testing, right? So
correct.
yeah, but the point is really to enable this on target setup and getting a distro image that allows for on target building.
So using RP interface directly, we can use it on. So we'll have to create a wrapper for the West Flash then, some form of binary.
Right. I mean, just an executable. And when you say binary, it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be a binary executable. It just has to be a
any
some
form.
some command, right? And it just a simple shell script should work fine to take the um, um, to take the
The
binary, right?
board,
The binary, and put it into remote proc, right? It should
right?
probably copy it into lib firmware and then set the file name in lib firmware, right? For the
Oh, yeah.
right in the remote proc interface. Ideally, it would use the sys like we should get the UDEV rules, right?
I
I don't know if
think
we've done
the
any
UDEV
work here
rules
on
are
the UDEV
already set.
rules.
At least in the AI64, the UDEV rules are there. I'm
Um,
not sure about the YAI.
uh, yeah, but this specifically on the BeagleY-AI, I don't think we have. I don't know what it would. The dev is going to have a lot of stuff in it.
It's slash dev slash remote proc, and then it goes continues from there.
Yeah, this one doesn't have any dev. So the um, I'm using a fairly old image, I think. Cat etc. dog tag. Right, I'm using a September image. So
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm checking. It's still not there. No, YAI at least doesn't have.
oh, I might use the wrong password. Um,
Also, within Zephyr, we have the board info, so we could target particular cores which to select. Like, if suppose you want to attack the main R5 cores, the board has the identifiers for that. So it'll be fairly simple for
Absolutely right.
targeting.
Right, the information's there within the project So a simple West flash should pick that information up and flash the right core,
Well,
right?
correct. Yeah.
So we should be able to simply type West flash and it should begin execution.
Yep. That's the plan.
Okay. Well, let's break that down. We need um, the UDEV rules, right? So right, and repos arm64 I think is where the UDEV rules live. The BB customizations suite. Bookworm's newer. I forget Bookworm or Bullseye. Which one's the actual?
Okay.
But here,
It's pretty confusing at this point.
and I thought in one of the recent sessions, we identified all the what needed to go in here.
Yeah, we had done it in one of the prior sessions, if I remember.
So, but we didn't create a pull request. So let me just let's just create a fork and do this. I'm sure that Robert can. We'll just put this on. We'll actually put it right there. That was the right place to put it. So that we can track everything that we've done here in that BeagleY-AI Zephyr. So we're going to ask for changes here so that we can create more of a pattern for people that know how
Maybe
to do these customizations, right? So if we do it for one, I think Robert can repeat it for the other distros. He's got some other process for actually getting these things in here.
is it for backporting it to other places? Some form of automation?
He does. He generates these files from some other source tree. So he would, I believe. I don't know exactly what his process is. That's part of the headache. So anyway, these are these numbers right? Jace R5F.
They seem to be correct. They seem to be correct.
Main and there's not the MCU. Let's look. Once this guy comes back, I can start another terminal. Sys class remote proc. How do we? The addresses I think show up somewhere.
Yeah.
Device. Name. Here we go. Now mapping these, I think in a previous session we'd figured out what we needed to do to actually map these exactly, but didn't get it into a merge.
Wait, shouldn't there be 4 R5s, if I remember right? Why do I see only 3?
Isn't that what's going to be 3 subsystems, right? Oh no, it's not. This is okay. There's not one. There's not a second one here in this subsystem for some reason.
So I think MCU side is totally missing in this. I think so. These are all main R5 cores.
Well,
I
but
have to
maybe
see the data sheet.
maybe we booted. So it depends on what mode we've booted in, right? So whether or not you have a single core or a dual core, right?
Oh, yes, yes. Makes
So
sense.
you can choose to have the whole subsystem down to 1, and that's going to be set in the device tree. That should mean that you have extra memory available to this one, but I don't know. It's panned out that way. All right, so we don't have. Yeah, none of those numbers are there. So I feel like I did this before, and I just don't remember. Um, um, okay. We can be pretty sure that this is C710, and this is C711. I'm wondering why. I think most of these numbers come from TDA4 VM. Does TDA4 VM not have a second DSP?
From my remember, it has two different sets of DSPs. One for 60, one is C67, one is C71. I have the data sheet open with me. Give me a sec.
Let's see what's been put inside of Zephyr. Like Moore's landed upstream. Boards.
Oh, docs also we have to update the AI64 upstream.
I'm sorry, what do we have to update upstream?
That AI64 is currently upstream. The docs are a little behind in that. I think so. Docs only show for Beagle Connect Freedom and Beagle V Fire, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, there's no BeagleY currently, right? So we have to go into um, um, uh, why am I blanking? Andrew Davis's tree. Um, I'm not. We'll have to check the commit on that because I thought um, it was still the AI64. Is it testing or work in progress?
It's work in progress.
That's the right one to look at. Um,
The one which has mailbox attachment, if I remember. Vaishnav's mailboxes PR. Oh wait, I'm lagging behind the stream. That's why I'm not able to see. Give me a sec.
okay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like it's actually the testing branch
Oh,
has
it's a
BeagleY.
testing branch.
Um, but we'll need
Oh
it's
damn, that's
looks like it hasn't been updated
he,
in a couple months. So
yeah. But he has actually added all the main and MCU.
yeah, and so we should be able to find the address here. That's for the shared area, not the main core. I think you put it in the docs though.
TDA4 VM has two types of DSPs. That's the C71 and C66. Two C66.
Right, right, right. So that's why it doesn't. It only has one C7 and then two C6s, whereas AM67 only has two C7s and no C6s.
Right.
All right, so um, MCU are where's the 78.4 is main. 78.4 is main. Oh, so that should be. I think I can still use the J7 name. I think that's the more generic thing to do. So 78 is main, right? And then 79 is MCU. 79 is MCU. Yep, 79 is MCU. 78. Why does it jump to 78.4? I don't know.
Must be another core in between.
Um, yeah. So wouldn't this be 0, 1? Subsystem 0, core 1. This is 78. Yeah, 1. And this one's going to be MCU.
I think there's a duplicate 00 R500 above.
Where? Oh, you're editing. I think is behind me. So, I mean, you're seeing the screen behind me. So,
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay. Then no
yeah,
problem.
yeah. I think I fixed that. So it's 0001. Um, so it's main 00, main 01, and then MCU 00. And what's missing from this map is MCU 01. So in case it's there, I'm gonna save that. And add M67A symlinks remote links into. I wonder if I edit it locally. Alright, so that should be all that's necessary to use those names. Call that under test before creating the merge request. Copy the file contents. So, how do I blow this up? Sudo vim. I know I'm in an editor, but I'm going to use this anyway. It's going to be etc udev rules 86 remote proc no root. And yeah, I don't see those in here. Paste, please. There we go. All right, now I've got. Why is my syntax? Oh, good old syntax highlighting. Oh, yeah. How do I? Well, I just have to go make a change, but. Rebooting. Meantime, come back and edit this because I did it wrong. I missed all the close quotes. Is that the only thing I fixed? I think so. I wonder if those are supposed to be tabs. They don't look like tabs in here. Right.
No, they don't seem tabs. They seem spaces.
Okay. All right. Hopefully, we test this and get the symlinks done. Somewhere we're gonna have to create a package for all the stuff that ultimately gets created for Zephyr. There we go. So now I have. I'm not 100% positive they're all the right ones, but I have 2 mains and 1 MCU.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, no, I want a cat. All right, so theoretically, now if I go into dev remote proc J7, because I think we're building for um, were we building
Main,
for main 00?
yeah, main 00.
Attached. That doesn't say, that's not running. Firmware is unknown.
Okay, that's a new.
Hmm.
Normally the
It'd have a file name. It had.
base, it'll have the file name as the firmware.
Um,
Maybe try running Hello World once.
oh yeah, so it's probably. Oh, that's weird. So I've done it. It's definitely mapped wrong. 01. All right, these are not in order, because they should be the same. So C7s are correct, but it's calling main 00 as that
As MC.
well, it's got that 4 on it, like just like um it's calling main 00784. It seems odd to me. And so what is 780? I mean, it makes sense to me that there's not the second MCU. The 794 isn't there, but what is at 7800 that says unknown? Seems like that should be, maybe it's backwards. That's 781. Because what he has down there for the ATCM region for the R5F main 0 is the 784. All right. When all else fails, read the TRM.
Yeah.
Or open the TRM you already have. Go searching. It's waiting for my hard drive to spin up. All right, R and a main R5 and a main. Oh, what's it going to be under? Memory map.
I think so in main domain. You could look in the subsystems.
Missing it. Well, it's going to be. Too many digits. 4, 8. How many digits is it? 7, 8. The high on a 32-bit. All right, 7, 8. High on a 32-bit. Right, not quite there yet. Seven. All right, so
Yep, the R5
but that's the memory, right? So why is it showing that? Is it the remote proc address showing the memory or the control locations? So
maybe base it out of the existing the prior what do we say? UW rules, maybe from the AI64.
Yeah, it's a totally different address on the AI64.
Right, but at least we could identify whether it requires the actual memory address or the control address related to the remote proc.
I'm not sure I know what you mean. So there's also a wake up domain R5. Looks like it.
Yeah.
So there's MCU domain R5 device. It's great how they changed the nomenclature, right? So I guess I don't know which one, runtime management or device management. One of those is wake up, and one of those is MCU domain. Um, no, this is MCU domain. Is here. One of these is main domain.
The main domain is in, I think so, in the, what do we say? Okay, no, now I'm also confused. Wait.
Yeah, I don't know which of these three is which ones. So, um, well, you can look at the device tree. Um, it's just, I mean, that's should still have the names in there. It'd be nice if the device tree reflected the runnings, like would have the stuff into the system. ARM64, boot, DTS, TI. Um,
No, it is separated into different. What is thermal commander? Like, what does it mean?
um, I think it's a on die temperature sensor, I believe.
Oh, there's a whole DTS just for the temperature sensor? Damn.
Um, so it looks like there's well, just it's not very big, but it looks like there's three temperature sensors.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Abstracting it. Got it.
Um, right, so they all look like they're set to trip about the same point, so 125C. Okay. Um,
I mean, it does get that hot.
not that hot.
Yeah, not 125 Celsius, but
All right,
you get what
so
I mean.
DMA. Where's the R5s? Timers, UARTs, I squared C, spies, GPIOs, um, like the SD controllers, USB, FSS. I don't know FSS. OSPI. Okay, why is that FSS? What's FSS? Functional safety system or something? Usually I would think, I hear FS and TI, I think functional safety.
It has a SPI connection to an all flash.
Can RTI, that's the time watchdog timers. Lots of watchdog timers, PWMs, serial ports. But where's the R5s? So is it not going to common? Common main domain, right? That's 7.2.
Oh, we reached that.
2S. I didn't see any anything for R5s.
Is there any common domain? Something like that, like K3 common?
Let's. We wanted 722S, right? There's a 62P main. I think it's got to be 722S specific. There's a 722S main. You know, maybe the R5 subsystems aren't part of the 62P. Yep, there we go. All right, 784. It really is 784, not 780. So let's make sure to nuke 780. Delete 780. I don't see. That's the subsystem. That's where it sets the firmware name. So the one that we weren't getting a number back for, so 70 and 72 are good there. I don't know which one it said unknown for. Maybe it's the. So wake up. Where's the address? So R5. I'm wondering if it's 785. Looks like the second region. I wonder if that's the second core. But they have no ability to program it. And MCU, they're just referencing it somewhere else. So let's look in the, not in main, but in. So maybe it's the mains aren't, but the MCUs are defined in those includes. I wish there was a better way to search this. Having all these includes is like probably putting in some sort of IDE would work a lot better.
Maybe open the VS Code IDE that they have.
Where did I miss K372SS? Oh, because it's 6.2. That's why it puts 6.2 first. AM62P. So confusing. Yeah, okay. So the MCU domain is defined there, and it's 79 and 7902. I don't know if that's a separate core. That's not. We have 794 for the other one. So that does not look like it. So there's 79, 784, 79, and let's see if Wake Up Domain has one. Yep, 78. So that's Wake Up. So the one with no firmware, the one that says unknown, is the Wake Up.
So it's basically one MCU, one main, and one wake up that's currently attached.
Yep. Because it was 7800, and it's Wake Up. And it doesn't seem like any of the second, all of them are booting up into single core mode, or at least that's the way their remote proc is showing them. So 78 is wake up, and that's the one we've got is 78. And right here, 78, right there, that's the wake up R5. But it's just subsystem 0, right? It doesn't really say what core, right? Well, I guess this is the core. And it's not set to be any one of the, like firmware. The firmware's not set. So that's why it comes back as unknown. All right. I think I got it. So let me go and edit this one more time.
R5 SSO.
Edev rules 86. All right. Should probably squash this in a pull request. Yeah, I don't know why we lost this before. Seemed like this was all done before, but. All right, what you thinking? You got any questions in the? Any questions in Discord? Nah, nothing in the Discord right now. In fact, our only person that was paying attention got bored of us. Right. Am I blinking green again? Yep. So what else do we need to do to make West Flash work?
Some form of I think so. Executable and a board.cmake file on the board itself. Those are two parts. Unless we are creating a whole separate runner, which I asked in the Zephyr community, they said if you're going instead of going for a separate runner as itself, better use the MISC runner, miscellaneous runner.
I'm sorry, what's
But it doesn't.
miscellaneous?
Like Westflash has multiple runners, so you can like choose your poison depending on
Sure.
which SOC it is.
Sure, we
But
can set the runner. Mm-hmm.
but as we have done with Beagle Connect, I was like, why go with the extra effort when we can just create our own executable, add that in the specific board.cmake, and it should work fine from there.
Yeah, I think it being a simple shell script, it's okay. Like when we were depending on a Python flashing tool that had different licensing, right? That's something that we couldn't submit directly into Zephyr, right? So this we should be able to.
Right. Feels pretty direct also if we use shell script.
Yeah. So we just need a shell script that looks at the name. It's just copying into specific locations and then setting start. So if we look at state right now of each of these, so the MCU one is the one that comes back as attached. The it looks like the main one is running. So whatever I've firmware provided in the past, that's automatically started running. right? And I think it's just gonna, I think I've started the I don't know. It's what is it? What's the R, RP message? Yep, yep. It's running the MicroPython.
Oh, I'm still lagging behind the video. Yeah.
Yep. So it's still running MicroPython on the main R5. So it keeps booting that
The
every
main
time.
artifact.
Yep, on the main R5. So I can't can't hit Control T in a browser, so I can't kill TO. So I just leave it running. Start another terminal session.
Maybe start another terminal. Yeah.
Yeah, just start another terminal session. So, all right, so let's start writing our shell script. Or maybe we want to start by hooking it in, and then we can fill in the functionality, right? So let's, because we're going to need, we're going to need to create a Zephyr patch to do in the,
Okay, a Zephyr patch as in?
a Zephyr patch for the board.cmake.
Ah, yes, yes.
So boards, BeagleY, AI. So yeah, we don't have a board.cmake file right now. Zephyr
Yeah,
board.cmake.
both YAI and AI64 don't have a board.cmake.
Let's just start with BeagleY AI. That's the one we want to. I know it's not in mainline, but you know we can.
Yeah, we can add it. I think so. YAI is in the 4.1 milestone, if I'm not wrong. So it'll take some time for it to come.
So if there's existing, like if there is a JLink or PyOCD, there's nothing with remote proc runners, right? Let's just double
No,
check.
there is none actually.
Oh, you
I
looked?
have also, I've looked already. So there are few other devices that use remote proc, and they're doing the same method as us. Just listed out the commands required for remote loading it. There's no specific related to remote proc West Flash. Few others like Xilinx is one of the main ones. They have the Zinc series.
Yeah, the Tourdex IMX7 seems to have one, but they're just showing an example with catting. I don't want to do catting. Anybody? So you said somebody made a shell script. Looks like Phytech is catting.
Everyone,
NXP.
Phytex, AMD,
Oh, none of them actually have generated a shell script.
none of them, none of them.
Oh.
That's why I'm saying if we could get this working, it could be a all-in-one solution for everyone using remote proc.
Yeah, we should make a class, right? Like what they've done for the other devices. Unfortunately, we should solve it for everybody. So, where are we looking at here? So if you look in boards common, we should start with the remote proc board.cmake and pattern after that. Yeah, so like if we look at something like NRF util, or I don't know, which is going to be a plainest.
Most of these takes from runners. So we have the path is like if I remember script wedged commands. In that they have a set of runners, and these all just attach to those.
Yeah. Like OpenOCD, I think is maybe a good. Well, that's Flash. Use load image.
Oh, one more thing that we have to see also was for a debugging side. If we don't have like a physical debugger, self-hosted debugging, we have to add support for that also.
Yeah. We should also add the OpenOCD support, honestly. We should load by OpenOCD as well in case people want to do debug.
Right. The problem with OpenOCD as of right now is that all of the ways that they have done the West debug method in OpenOCD, yeah, they expect you to have the server on the host computer, not on the not on the target, as what
But
Mr. was
but it
trying
is
earlier.
a host. But in this sense, it is a host computer, right? Because it's
Yes, correct.
right, because it's running on the A53s. It is a host computer. It's just happens to be hosting a processor on the same silicon die, right? It's still a target. It's still a host and target, right? So I think the thinking still works, right? So we should
Yeah, right.
um, um, we should get West Debug to work using OpenOCD.
West debug is actually quite simple. It's if I remember, it is just a one-liner code in the CMake side.
Yeah, but we have to get the OpenOCD working for that, right? I mean,
Oh, wait, in that there's actually already what do we say OpenOCD's configuration file, if I'm not wrong. There's already one for those.
right. Now the harder thing, we've had errors inside of OpenOCD. Last time I tried to run it, my um, I don't remember. I thought the processor hung or something like that. I had some type of or I had a what's an invalid memory access? What's the result when you have an invalid memory address? But an exception of some kind. It generated a memory exception.
Oh, wait,
A seg
in the
fault.
YE,
I had a seg fault of some kind.
I see.
Yep, when I tried to run it, we need to try to get back to that to try to get the OpenOCD stuff running for sure. But let's get the remote proc loading working
Yeah, one other
first.
thing.
So, um, I mean, most of these look like they're pretty simple, but none of these actually include the um, right. They're all referring to some sort of external executable. Like one of,
Yeah, I'll
to,
tell you
to,
the
to
location for
any of these
that.
have like um, a
Uh,
what do you call it, a shell script, right? That's, I don't see, there's a DTS file, but I
no,
don't see any of these having a shell script. And
not,
I
not
don't know that we can do it all entirely in the CMake. Maybe we can. Maybe we can just use um, cat inside of CMake.
as of right now. I've not seen anyone using shell within their Flash environment or flashing style.
Well, I mean, they're invoking shell commands, though. I mean, some basic ones, right? But they're all just like, um, you know,
Yeah, I think so. That's from the runner side. They're basically calling shell commands from there.
yeah. Um, mhm. So what's the actual command we need to do? Because we want to. Um,
So I think first we'll have to create a common for remote. I think so. We'll first target for one board. Ah, so we create one remote proc.board.cmake. From there, we
so we want to. What arguments are we going to get? We're going to get. We can somewhat specify it, right? Because we can get. I don't know. Low
I
default.
think I think a board identifier will do. No, let's keep it simple for now. Let's try for a target.
Here, let's. Um,
What you're wait, are you
I'm
trying to
running
find
a
a
shell
state of
script.
the? Okay.
So I'm just I'm going to write a shell script. It's going to print what arguments we get, and I'm going to make my remote proc runner simply run the remote proc shell script from the same directory. I don't know what directories it might be able to search for executables. Um, um, yeah, I don't know. Like how do we get an executable into the path?
Actually, there is. I think so. We'll have to update the Zephyr SDK for that. They have a setup.sh
Well,
for handling all the path related.
is scripts placed into the path?
I'm not sure. You'll have to check that. There's a
Let me
lot of scripts.
do my environment setup. So I need to source that VNV bin activate for the Python path, and I don't know if I added the Zephyr stuff there. It looks like I did not. Source. What's the? It's Zephyr. What's the environment? Zephyr environment. All right. So now, what's in my path? And Zephyr scripts is in the path. So I could just dump it into Zephyr scripts.
Or if you wait, no, that's not possible. I was thinking like during build time, if you just add it to the.
Is there any reason why something that uses remote proc couldn't be put into Zephyr scripts? All right, I don't know. They can always find a different place for it, right? I think that I'm just putting it in Zephyr scripts.
Yeah, I had also for that random runner that I made, I kept it randomly on the format. This is a path.
All right, so boards common. Now all we have to do, like JLink looked like the simple one, like, but we don't have, yeah, we don't have debug, right? So there was even something simpler. Which one is just debugger? I'm just gonna copy.
That jailing part comes under the runner that they have it within the script side. So you, if your board.cmake shows that it has that runner, it uses that for the.
I'm not. I didn't understand. Ah, I'm not catting.
Oh, I think my voice is breaking down in middle.
All right. So if flasher's not set, we're gonna set it to remote proc. And board finalized runner args is just remote proc. And like if we do it right, we can set the yeah, I think the assumption is going to be that somebody puts a link to /dev/remote proc, and we could just document that assumption. Anybody doing that on any board, if they just make a /dev remote proc entry, they can use our script. And then something that matches the name. All right, so what else? Now we need to go into.
Are you suggesting some kind of mapping where people will just add their boards?
I'm expecting them to do the mapping in their in something, either in their board specific file somehow, or in like make an entry. They need to have an entry in /dev/remote proc that matches some string that's available to the script.
Right.
Although maybe there's not a need to have /dev/remote proc if they can just
I If they
set
can just manually add all of the remote procs, no, what do we
path
say?
add
Path. Yeah,
the path to the remote proc entry. Yeah, but we'll yeah okay, that makes sense. So now I need a board.cmake, right?
right.
And all I need to do is just include remote proc uh, board.cmake. And I
I
don't.
think
What's the
you can take the
syntax
example,
here?
or you can take
I
the
just I
example
hate
of the
learning
using
all
board.
these syntaxes. I hate learning all these syntaxes, these different tools. This is such an oppressive thing to me. I can take what?
You can take an example of the Beagle Connect Freedom,
Oh, okay.
which uses that CC1352 flasher.
Yeah, I'm doing a much simpler example. Right, they have in the documentation, they have like ones for loading like PyOCD or JLink or like so you can use any of those different reference settings um, in your CMake. Right, so I just copied that. Right, so and in our
Oh,
if
oh,
not define debugger, then define debugger.
we can actually add all of this within the board.cmake, the necessary arguments, like within the board.cmake, you can add your paths related to that.
We could, yeah, absolutely. So we could provide, but we want to try to find a way where we don't have to make it in like because you could potentially target all of these other various cores, right? So we'll want to pull this specific core and like somehow to map it in the board config file so that each individual user doesn't have to do it, right?
Okay. I think there should be a board identifier within the build system that should identify it, if I'm not wrong. That's somehow how Westflash is able to do it, because Westflash doesn't require any arguments related to which board you're running.
Yeah, yeah, because it saves it, right? So, um, all right. Do I need to rebuild it in order for that? I think I need to rebuild it in order for that board CMake to get copied. Um, I didn't build pristine though. Well, it's gonna take a while, isn't it?
Oh my God, why is it 202?
What do you mean 202? Is that the
Oh,
load?
yeah, the load. I was just looking at that.
The
It's
task?
massive. The amount of task is massive.
It's threads. Okay, so that's the number of threads. Um, process threads. That's but it doesn't seem to be parallelizing very well. But
If I
oh, it's
remember,
done.
there's an external tool for that.
It's done. Um, I didn't specify what build directory. Yeah, west flash dash. It's D. runners.yaml. I feel like I just need to build pristine. I think it's a build issue copying.
Oh,
I don't know if
wait.
runners.yaml is something. Do we need to do runners.yaml?
We will have to do that. I've had that problem prior,
Um,
but we haven't added ours in the runners itself. Yeah, I think so. You can look. Okay, no, that's for making a runner.
but wouldn't I inherit a runner by? Should be created without being targeted as a single operating system. For example, do not assume special UDEV rules. Do not assume one specific DevX device for platforms that won't be compatible with Windows or Mac OS. But if you're running on the target,
I mean, it wouldn't come in that way. I mean, then we'll have to
I know
specifically tell them
they're
like,
trying to avoid. I get it. They're trying to avoid Zephyr code being specific to running on a particular operating system. But if it's a certain target, I mean, it's not very much considered, right? That you're running on the same device as the target.
right.
So we'll see what they say. Could get rejected, but I think
I think should we send the RFC to Zephyr project?
yeah. Let's get something that works and then send an RFC, right? So let's like
Makes
make it.
sense.
It's just better like for people to provide feedback on something specific than just on it's like, hey, I want to do something and I'm not telling you what, and then the answer is going to be no. I want to do something and this is what I want to do, and then they can say, oh well, I see what you're going for here. Can you change your approach this way, and right or something like that, right?
Makes sense. Okay.
So I don't see a need to create a runners.yaml. I think that's something that that gets generated. I hope. Okay, there's no way. Did it really build that fast? All right, that's cool. Using runner remote proc. Unknown runner remote proc. Was it supposed to go into some type of
Maybe search the error and then we may be able to find it in the repo.
I feel like there's probably a CMake list, CMake files list or something like that. Unknown runner inside of West Command's runners. Let's look for like something like jlink.board CMake. Whoa, a lot of boards that use it. How do we look not in boards? Let's look in. What was it? West Commands.
What are you trying right now?
Scripts West Commands. I'm trying to figure out where one of these gets included. Where
if I remember, if you add
it's
it,
probably a CMake
wait, what?
files or something like that. There's probably a CMake file list or something.
Check within the common folder. There will be a common CMake file within that, if I'm not wrong.
I didn't see it. I didn't see like one that was being included here.
Yeah, it's not there.
Let's look for one that's maybe not as commonly used as JLink. How about BOSAC? What's that mean?
That's a very specific thing.
But it is used in several. It looks like doc develop flash debug. That's looks like it's that's a documentation. Others, I don't. So we just included it in our. So he definitely said it was.
Okay, there is a okay within West Command's runners folder, there is one init file which checks which all it gets all the runners. One second. It's
In the build?
yeah, go into no, not in the build. If you go into scripts, West Command's runners, you have to add it in that. It's a Python file, not in build, in the actual repo.
Yeah, I'm in the repo now.
Okay. So scripts, West Command's runners, in runners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all of them seem to be there.
Yeah, and in runners, if you go into the init py, in that you have to list your runner.
Yeah, so it looks like none of it's not just executing a shell command; it's executing a Python command. So we just
Yeah.
write it. Oh well, I mean,
Uh,
gives us even more flexibility, right? We could just write it in Python.
yeah, I actually implemented the earlier part with Python, my earlier West command. But I mean, that still used SSH, but yeah, this was the method.
Uh, all right.
So
So
they have their own library called Zephyr runners. You use that for writing West Flash commands and to add arguments to it.
so where do these get in? Each Python get included, right? So is that under init?
Yeah, it's under init. If you go in init, there's a
Yeah, there's a list of names: HIJKLMNOPQR. Rem, remote proc. All right. All right. So we're now in Python, and I just want to print. Oh, what does it come back as?
print. You will have to add the library also.
Oh, do I? Ah, can't do split. Let me switch to using. I can actually use this editor. I'm gonna shrink this window now. Python test Zephyr. Where's Zephyr? Zephyr.
Yeah, Zephyr is just below West. Yeah,
West commands.
scripts, and then West commands.
Yeah, I'm in West commands.
Oh, I think so. I'm lagging by around 5-6 seconds, so that's why I keep repeating whatever you did.
Yeah. Where? Oh, it's runners, right? Yeah, runners. It's remote proc. Now I want to look at it by comparison. I want to look at like JLink. I'm gonna get them both open. There we go. Oops.
Side by side.
You can use argparse.
Yeah, the one in the lowest is what is most important. The runners.code library. The runners library.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of things set up for us here. Oh, no, no. So there it's going to executable. What? Just I need to remember how to. Right now I just want to print the arguments out. Um, I don't need the main.
I think then, yeah, the most important part in that would be to add this thing. It's like a do create, if I remember. There's certain constructors there. One second, I'll just bring that up. You're looking to J-Link, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I don't. I can look at one of the other ones. It's just you think any of these are simpler? How about MISC? Oops, why is it opening the wrong one? I don't. It's opening on that side.
I think PyOCD is the simplest one in terms of understanding.
MISC is pretty
Yeah,
simple, right?
MISC is simplest. Yeah, yeah. I was talking about MISC. Yeah. In MISC, you can add in the names and your do create and do run. Those are the three most class methods important.
Don't I need? I need. Oh, not. Oh, I need to do. Why does it? I need to add it somewhere, right? So this is class mist flasher, but I want to do. I need to make it. Do I need to make a class?
I'm not. I don't think we yeah, you would make a class. Yeah.
But when do I add that? I don't. It's just do run, right? So I just need to. So me to make something
Yeah.
with. Where does it?
Do run.
How does it
Def
get
do run is
added?
the.
How does it get added to the list though?
I think it's with the names. If you want to add, just add names, def names. It returns that name of the MISC. There's a class method. It's in the line 29th.
Right, but how does this? I was just wondering, where does this get added to the?
Oh, then there's the init.py that calls all of this.
But does it know about the class?
Oh, I have to see that.
Like that's where I'm trying to find like
Yeah,
I would think you'd
so
import and then it would like if I was to write this, I would
it's a it's
have this be a derivative
a,
class, right? Instead of like I would have it be um a child
it's a
class,
construct it's a
but
constructor, so you can just
it's not. Let's click here and here.
oh yeah, did you add the names class method for names? Using that, yeah, you can look into that. It calls the name class, sorry, names
Um,
function.
what an ugly pattern. Let's get a runner's class object given its name. Well, how does it find class.name? For class
Oh, you have to
in.
create a constructor for that within your.
So it sees if it has a Zephyr binary runner. Okay, so it is searching for ones that essentially that do, but not just import this, right? It should be a template for it, right? It should be.
Yeah, it's a template. You can understand in that format.
I'm not seeing where this is like it's setting this as a child of that class, right? So, oh, here we go. Super init. Okay, no, that's not it. It doesn't. That's just like where does it say that's inheriting from?
Wait, wait.
Um,
I don't think so. We have to do the init part. That's
well, you would need to do an init, right? So because you need a constructor.
no. One sec. I think we can copy the structure of. Oh yeah, we have to do that. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe
Um,
what we can do for now
but
is
where? But
within the
why
init
doesn't it?
just.
Why? No, no. Okay. I don't want to try to in run this because this seems like super tied into it, right? This seems exactly the way it's
supposed to work.
Yeah, well, we're supposed to be doing this, right? So um, let me find another one. QEMU. How about that? Um, I just don't see where it finds that this is the. Um, so maybe we don't need our own init, but like.
I think the stream is broken. It came back.
Um, so we support commands flash. Do we need a parser?
I think we can add that afterwards, not right now. Yeah, it's not really.
So do create, that's going to just call our own. That's like a new
Yep.
method, right? So and we want so we can define what our instantiation method is, right? But this is our new method is, but this like our init, I guess, is in Python lingo would be the init method. Um, um, but I'm not. So I'm not. Yeah, I guess I don't need to inherit anything. But I need. So what's my init method? So this is an init method. Takes Zephyr binary runner as. So there, this one makes sense. This one is inheriting, right? So this one inherits from the Zephyr binary runner class.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. The one from MISC didn't make sense because it didn't obviously inherit, right? And then when you look through,
Wait, I think the MISC was also inheriting from Zephyr binary.
oh, it is. How did I miss that? Okay, that's what was driving me nuts. That's the whole thing that was driving me nuts is I didn't see that. I thought I copy and pasted one, and then modified it. I don't know which one I did, but yeah, okay. If it's inheriting from that class, right, then it makes sense that they can search for it in the init. They just search for things that are that class, right? So they
Yeah.
bring in all those names and import runner module into the names, and then if the for class, if it has the class of Zephyr bio runners, then get runners. That makes sense. This is exactly what I would do. So class that name equals runner. Do we not return runner here then?
I knew I would return a runner's name. Yeah, specifically that.
Well, it's a
No, it's
runner's
correct. It's
name, but
correct.
it should match the string runner, shouldn't it?
It should match the string runner, correct. So, especially in the CMake side, it has to.
But this is returning like OpenOCD or why is it not?
Yeah, it's open. It's just open OCD.
But this matches. Oh, it just equals runner. Okay, the whatever runner is requested, get runner class. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. This is what it's going to use to return the method. So, okay. So if we search for runner remote proc, we're going to get this. when somebody does get runner class. And then, all right, we set our capabilities. We do a creation. We can, at this point, decide. No, we need. Right, the init function needs the class, right? It can't be just anything arbitrary. Right, the do create is going to has to be called with, yeah, class config args. Yeah, I don't know how MISC is using some, because it's got a custom init, right? That's why it's doing it that way, because it's got a custom init. You could potentially take some of those other arguments, like the way MISC does. Their initialization method includes the config, command, and args. We're not. Right now, just to keep it simple, we'll just not use.
Remove all that. Yeah.
We'll not use a custom. All right, but we do need to implement do run, and at this point, I just. Right, this one doesn't have a custom one, does it? No. So do run should provide us with command. So what do we need to do to print out KWArgs? What does that mean in Python? ** KWArgs. I remember my Python.
I also forgot.
Not math operator. I don't know, one does a math operator. What is it? A pointer to a pointer of. I mean, you don't have pointers in Python, right? So I always forget the print function formatting. What the format method? String format method.
The strings format. Are you talking about that?
I'm looking at string format just to remind myself of how to use .format. I don't do it enough because I want to say yeah, I'm just I don't know. It's going to give me an error, a runtime error. I'm sure. Save. All right. Because the way this runs, so I should now. I don't. Because now we've already got into the project. The calls back. Now this is plugging it into West. So, yeah. Yeah. Getting to my.
Oh, did you wait? Did you update it in the board.cmake with the correct name?
But I don't. So it was already in the board.cmake. Already had it as remote proc. So really, I just needed to update it in West.
Okay, yeah.
Which it did, and it called it. And we actually got to the do run. I just need to remember
Missing
how to
parentheses.
do miss in the call to print.
You're just missing the brackets.
Oh, does it need parentheses? That's.
Yeah. The print requires.
I don't know why anybody writes in Python. It's disgusting language. Okay.
Yeah, it should work now.
Yeah. So now we need to use
okay.
the various methods to determine the file name.
Yeah, I think we should decide on what should be the arguments and how do we identify for which board it is for based on that. Or do we leave it to the board.cmake to add the arguments?
Um, who? I mean, we can make it real easy as a first pass, and um, and just add. I mean, I eventually want to clean it up so that it tries to figure it out um, from the board. But maybe we should. Yeah, no, we should figure it out. What's the right way to do it? Um,
Remote path.
well, what information can we get first? Like without asking for any arguments, right? What methods do we have available to us in?
Oh, I think we have to look for the API on the runner side for that.
Yeah, exactly. What is the API on the runner side? That's what I'm saying. Um,
Wait, I remember seeing this a while back. Where's the Zephyr API documentation?
10:30. Yeah, it's West Flash though. Um, yeah, where is the Python API documented?
Yeah, I'm not able to find it. There is actually a separate API documentation for that, but it's not there within it. I think so. It should be there within West. It's not considered West documentation. Built-in commands, West extensions, West manifest. Oh, I think we could look into West built-in commands. It should be there within it. No, it's not. It's a more.
These are top level API, not internal API documentation. Is West? I guess it's not maintained outside of Zephyr, is it?
It's a part of Zephyr project, but it's not part of Zephyr RTOS like that. Oh, which APIs?
Doxygen.
I think it's configuration APIs.
This is all kernel. This is all APIs inside of. Like, does it not have like a? Mm-hmm.
How about we look into other boards? Board.cmake. How did they access it?
Yeah, but there should be an API doc, right?
Yeah,
I don't
I think
like because I want the like the exhaustive set of functions available to
datas.
like just copying and like from the like other
Correct.
examples, right? That's just
I get you.
yeah says how to implement a function. There's a command. West of my command. There's a pattern here. But what is available? So maybe we just use the global API or the... What state is available? Let me go back to West API. Is that?
I think so. It's in the other documentation.
Is this? It's executing. I want to find out what, in what context am I running? I'm sorry, you said something's where?
No. I was just telling you the location of the documentation, nothing else.
Command context.
How does OpenOCD get there? Okay, I just checked. OpenOCD basically has arguments for their configuration files. That's how they get it.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments, optional arguments that you can pass.
Yeah,
So,
they're all passed at during the board.cmake part.
but we should have, like, what's the name of the file? Like, we don't even, like, I haven't even figured out how to get the name of the file, right? So let's at least copy that pattern, right? Let's, when somebody does do run, what about MISC? Let's, so when somebody does do run, no, let's try native. How about that? Somebody says do run if command equals flash, right? So we should get back the command. Let's print that. Command. I'll let Python do the formatting of KW args. So we get command flash. Okay, woohoo!
That's nice. One at a time.
Self-config.
Oh, debug attach. Sure. There's a link server. No.
What is self-config? Get whatever runners.remoteproc. Can I direct? I have to direct it. So why does args? I guess it's empty. Does it just not? Um, I'm gonna start introspecting. I don't know what else to do.
I've seen majority runners, they don't have a way to find out the board. One similar, the closest one I found was in dfu.py, which basically finds the USB. And using the USB class, they not using the USB class, using the USB, they parse out which device they have. dfu.py.
DFU dot what? I see DFU.
Yeah, that's that one.
It's
This is the closest that we can get.
Oh, okay, down here. But oh, man, there's a lot in here. Like there's a self has a lot. Um, right in this class, right? There should be documentation on this class. Like it's just
Oh, I just ask
Zephyr
actually.
binary Zephyr binary runner class, right? So like what is in that?
Uh,
What do I inherit in that class?
Let me ask in the West Discord channel.
Um, runner's core. There we go. No. Maybe. Yeah, this is it. There's runners.core.
Then I think so. This is the one. Yeah, seems to be one, but it's
Yeah.
tiny.
What's tiny?
The amount of documentation on the runners.core.
But I mean, I've got runner config. So I've got the bin file, board directory, L file. So this is like most of what I need, right? There's this there's a special entry for OpenOCD. U2 file, UF2 file. Interesting. Why does it? Oh, because these are different output types. I don't know.
Hey, build configuration. There is actually, if you look into core.py, I was just going through the source. There's a class for build configuration. Can help you read it as an object during build time. Yeah, helper class provides access to build time configurations.
Which class does that? I'm sorry, which
Build configuration. If you go to core.py within the same directory,
in the documentation? Core
no, not in documentation, within the runners directory in the
Oh,
source.
okay. You what in runners?
Yeah, where you were in dfu.py, just little about that. You'll see another one called core.py.
Oops, man. Go over there. Um,
Yeah, now in course.py, there's a class called build documentation, build configuration, my bad.
okay. Um, so can I get the board name? I can get the board directory. I mean, the L file, right? That's the big one, right? I'm gonna get so I can get my L file.
Yeah, I think so. Board directory and build file are the two important things that we require.
All right. So what? How do I get that? So I do self dot config self.cfg.
Right, yeah, I think so. You have to call the object and then call the build directory from that. I think so. Yeah, self.cfg. Yeah. Oh, okay. In build, I've seen few that are using the build configuration. I think so. Yeah. I think the good example would be NXP S32 debug.py. The way they use it is for getting the architecture, config architecture.
Let's start by getting the elf file.
I think that should be that was pretty straightforward. I was able to pull it out from there. One sec.
Oh, self.elf file.
Self.elf file, yeah.
Okay, it makes convenience methods to get it all the way from the self. All right, so then I can do self dot. Oh no, they're defining it. Runner config or blank. Oh, yeah, they did this in their init. So we're gonna have to we'd have to, in order to get this method. Um,
Mm.
yeah, that's
You
why
have
I
to
would just,
bring it within the class.
yeah. How do I access it outside?
Globalize it,
Runner,
maybe. Nah, that's not a
runner
good way.
config. It's the runner config right there. That CFG should be the runner config object. No, has no attribute. Um, Probably need to run its constructor in order to get the helper methods. Um, so you said it was in the build conf. So they're getting SOC name, all of this from.
I mean, that's all we require, right? We can get the SOC cores also from that. From the directory, I think so they're forcing it to get all of those board identifiers. I thought you told to underscore even the other side of the init also, the right side.
The right side. I'm sorry, what do we need on the right side?
The underscore, double underscore init.
Oh, yeah, good point. I don't need starter cores or tool options, but I need SOC name, SOC family, core name. The core name being the big one. NXP32. Oh, that's interesting. All right, now in the, should be a colon at the end of this, right? Why does it output none? Shouldn't it output self?
It's an optional thing, I think so. That's why.
Well, this is after the close parentheses for the init function, the init method. All right, so the init
Oh,
method,
yeah.
like if you see this like this dash greater than, right? So that's going to, that says that init returns none, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm also having. Wait. Why is that so?
But init should always return self. I mean, it shouldn't even have to say it. Whatever. I'm just not going to specify the return. It shouldn't actually need it. But it will need these methods here. I'm going to skip the super. I don't need the probe config. So elf file. Why does it say CFG? I did copy it wrong. CFG. Runner config. Alright, SOC family. So SOC, so we should have elf file, core name, SOC family, and SOC family name. Alright, great. Don't need tool options, build config. That seems, we can get the build directory. Interesting. Well, it's still useful. I mean, it's still interesting, right? The fact that we get that fetch, so I'll leave that for now. But now we should need to change our to create. Yep. Config is runner config and I don't need args parse though. Class and config. What other arguments do we take? Just in case we want them, let's take args. How does it not? Oh, it adds them here. Oh, it's a debug, probe config, and debug probe runner.
I don't think so. We require the debug part right now.
Yeah, well, we don't need the config and the runner, right? So it's got two classes. We need to return the class that is the remote proc flasher, but we take these arguments. So we're going to take these 5 arguments: the core name, the SOC family, and the SOC name and SOC family. I'm just going to copy this so I don't forget it. Right, when we do create, we want to call remote proc flasher with config. Well, I can't. It's going to be okay, self is implied. Config. I don't need probe config. So I've got the first one as config, and then so core name is coming from args. So that's that's stupid. I'm confused. So it's parsing that. So this requires, it's not getting this from Yeah, it's getting us from the command line. That's not helping us. It's not getting it from Zephyr. It's getting it from a board file.
Oh wait, is it giving from mine? Yeah, it's giving it from the. It's giving from the arc bus.
Ah!
Oh no, I think yeah, I can see why the board.cmake files are big in XP.
But at least I get the runner config now, and we can do what can we get from runner config? Like I don't know why it wasn't already there. But from runner config I can get the elf file. I don't have any of these. And then from build config I can get some things. Maybe there's more I can get from build config.
In runners config, at least you get the board directory, right? Shouldn't that be enough? We can parse the board directory and get the required core. Because let's take an example for the BeagleY-AI. The board directory is going to be like BeagleY-AI, JS2, JS277S, and then it's going to give the R5.
So that's going to be in the config. You're saying the board config.
Mm, should be.
Build configuration. Did I need build configuration for anything? Why is that not abbreviated? Runner is, but build is not. That's silly. Did I put dir? Must have. I guess that's just a lot of methods related to strings. This should be a string class object. Yep. All right, we got the elf file.
Wait, I thought. Oh wait, am I? Yeah, I'm lagging behind. That's why.
Right, but the config, I don't know what I can do. Let me directory the config, the build config. Oh God. Find some consistency. The remote prod flasher is no object config. Did I say CFG? There's no attribute CFG.
It's not being referenced.
Self config. I don't. Did I say self config? I said self. It said self build underscore config, which goes to underscore build config. Did I mean to go to underscore build config? So build underscore config goes to build configuration runner config build directory. Oh, I didn't do self build config. That's what I want. I don't know what build. Oh, so that's not. Oh, it's in West Core. Build conf. All right, so build conf is their method. So I don't know that this is even necessary to do this. I'm gonna have to drop. I'm gonna try to find a place to save this. All right, so I can get build directory out of there. Config prefix. What's that? Options. I don't know what that. Wonder what options is. All right, so that's all the build options. So if I can get the build options, does any of those tell me the core? What
Maybe try running it once.
do you mean? No, I've output it. I did output it, but it looks like it's just the. I don't see it anywhere in there. It's just the config options. Um, what else does build config have in it? It's build directory, config prefix, options, path. It doesn't have cores or. All right, I'm gonna try to save this, upload it somewhere. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll actually also add my own. I'll try looking for a path for how to get our own configurations of from where it's built. I think we should mainly look on the build side. I think so because. Oh wait, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, yeah, it should be there in the build configurations itself.
And looks like I made some changes to Hello World project for some reason. It was probably a hack. Let me drop that. Yeah. How do I unstage? Get. Just add manually. Get. Yeah, it's not staged to be committed, so let me just git add. Commit. Oh, that's right. I don't have any of this set up. Oh, let me just do this. I'm just make a gist for now. Maybe how do I do that? Where can I push this manually?
What about the Zephyr repo that's there in the OpenBeagle?
Right, but I don't have a key to push it. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
Um, so if I try to push it, um,
I think you may need to create a new branch because I think the main is protected, if I'm not wrong.
and but I mean, it's just going to reject this, right? Unable to access. Couldn't even resolve openbeagle.org. That's odd. I'm connected up over USB. Wireless network's not connected, and I don't have. No, the Ethernet's plugged in. Huh. That's weird. Let me unplug and replug the Ethernet. Oh, it's not. Oh, it came loose. Ah, it came loose again. My tab's broken on my Ethernet cable. It just wants to hop out. No blinky lights. No Ethernet cable plugged in. Yeah, so it's just like, I'm just going to paste the gist for now. I can do it on I can do it on OpenBeagle. What are gists called? Snippets. Yeah. Do it on a machine that I actually have a key on, so I can push this. Oh, titles required. Yeah, tell snippets are not used a lot. Snippet number 16. Let me paste that here. I'll even paste it in the YouTube chat. All right. Looks like that's the work for the day. Oh, and we never did submit the pull request to.
Oh yeah, for the UW rules.
Yeah, so I think we're mostly okay with that. So hit merge request, new merge request. Oh, yeah. Target. Yep, looks good. Branch is main. That's fine. Assign this to Robert. Please squash. What's your
It's Melta, MEL. Oh, M, M. Just do HP with an M. M, MAL.
MELTA?
Yeah, MAL actually. Just try MAL.
MAL, not
Yeah,
MEL, like Malta.
yeah. It's,
It may not.
oh wow.
It may not
Yeah,
find you
it's
in this
my.
because may not be on that project, right? So,
Oh yes, I'm not
um,
in the project. Maybe that's why.
yeah.
Just right through went on.
And what is the stream? Here we
Eighth session.
go. All right. And I should. I don't know if I can put this anywhere. I'll put this in an issue for.
Are you going to push that to a repo, or
I will.
we'll
I
do it
will.
afterwards?
I will. But I'm going to shut down, and I don't. I don't want to disconnect without at least putting the pointers to things where they can be found again.
Right, right.
So it's certainly a plan to. You know what? I should put that in that other issue was actually on this topic. So. Um, um, I'll follow up again with TI on the remote proc issue, shutdown issue. But cool. I think we made some good progress. I'm sure you can take a look at the API and we can find out what the actual device name is from this, right? I mean, we have a lot of information in the API here. It's just not clear what the API is.
Right. I
All
add
right.
my own additions to the remote proc Flash. See you
Okay.
next week.
All right. See you next week. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.